Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to JAAFAR Show. Today we have a very sensitive episode talking about two examples. One example of victim of the pager attack that happened in Lebanon, and the other example is a victim of October 7. The victim of October 7, I already mentioned it, I believe, in episode 2. The swing that I have here in my house for my daughter. Blue and yellow, the same swing that I saw in October 7, melted and burnt and destroyed, that belonged to some girl. Let's give this girl the name of Sophie, okay? So Sophie is that Israeli girl who got burnt, killed. Who knows what happened to her in October 7? Because we know there are some children that this happened to them. We cannot deny that. There are videos of things like that. Now we also have the other example. Let's call it Fatima. Fatima is the girl from Lebanon. Actually, that's her real name, a 9-year-old girl, Fatima. She died from a pager attack, taking the pager to her father. Let's assume that her father is a Hezbollah operative. And just so you know, guys, those pagers, they were distributed among civilians as well. So it's not only the Hezbollah operatives that got him. But let's assume, okay, that this is an Hezbollah operative. And also let's assume this is a Hezbollah operative that did something wrong. He actually killed the innocents. Okay, we're just making assumptions right now. We just want to understand what's going on. Because remember, guys, when somebody's born in Hezbollah environment, what do you expect them to be? These guys are resistant fighters. These guys are fighting against the occupation. But unfortunately, they get involved into wars where terror happened. And now they are terrorists. Now they're hunted from all over the world. And not only that, you can be among Hezbollah, but now there's other sections of Hezbollah that are dealing drugs, that are doing other things. Like for example, Hezbollah was fighting against the Syrian people. Why? Some things that you think, are these really resistant fighters, or are just they're fighting for their own agendas or for their attachment with Iran or. Let's assume that Fatima's father is somebody from Hezbollah that's not just born to be Hezbollah. It's somebody from Hezbollah who committed something ugly, okay? She happened to be his daughter. She grew up, she found herself in this world to be the daughter of that person from Hezbollah. She didn't do anything wrong. And I know this may sound like obvious, but it's not obvious to many people who make those decisions to explode those pagers. Because that girl, Fatima, 9-year-old, taking the pager to her father. The pager explodes. She died. Her father died. What is her fault? Because she happened to be the daughter of that person? Did she ask him to be born? Did she ask how is the environment going to be? Does she have even the capacity to make a choice? Yet, she's just a victim, and her name is almost forgotten. Fatima ABDULAH JAAFAR, I believe. So this is just one example. And I want to talk also about the other example of Sophie. Like we said, Sophie is another child that who knows what happened to her, burned or killed in the October 7 attacks that happened from Hamas. That girl, let's assume that her father is an Israeli soldier, even though soldiers, guys, don't think that they're from a different planet. They're just family people. Also, they have a uniform. But let's assume this guy is an Israeli soldier who committed some ugly acts, who sniped children. Let's assume that. Okay, he's a bad guy. So she happened to be the daughter of this guy. We're just making assumptions. So again, it sounds obvious that she didn't do anything wrong. Yet she was murdered in the name of some cause. Liberation, resistance, vengeance, who knows? Is it really comprehensive that if you're fighting for resistance, you're going to kill a child? Is it really comprehensive that because you want to get to that terrorist, you're going to kill everybody around them? And we know the stories where they were waiting for terrorists to go to some buildings before they blow up the whole building. Why? Guys, we need to differentiate here a little bit between innocent people and between people who did wrong, and also between people who found themselves in certain environment where they didn't do anything wrong. If you are born in a Hezbollah environment, you're gonna become a Hezbollah. If you are born in a Hamas environment, you're gonna become Hamas. It's very simple. Just like the IDF, when you're born in an IDF environment, when everybody's getting enlisted, you're gonna go enlist yourself too. Same thing with Hamas. Iranians too. Why are we gonna kill innocent Iranian people who didn't do anything wrong? Many Iranians are opposed to what's going on in there. Many Iranians in there are opposed to what's going on in there. Yet we're just gonna generalize everybody, just send bombs, and right now Iran is on alert. They're like, we're waiting for the next attack. Why? Where is the peace, guys, where we're gonna just prosper with everybody? Think about it. Why do we having all these problems? Venezuela, we have Iran, why can't we cross that bridge with these countries? The main issue that we have, I know, it is China, Russia. Those are the biggest power that are competing with the US. And these powers, they have allies all over the world that the US is fighting over as well. And these allies, when they get closer, that become danger zone. And Venezuela is 500 miles from Puerto Rico. So it is kind of a danger zone. That's why we don't want any kind of influence in there. That's why we may interfere in there. But again, why do we give a chance to these things to happen? Why can't we just get along even with Russians? The only one that benefit from this are the weapon trade makers. And let's think about it. Who produce the chemicals for fentanyl? Most chemical for fentanyl in the world? China. They're very silent, yes, but we need to also analyze and see what's going on. Going back to our two examples, that tells us that there is no such a thing as casualties of war. There is no such a thing as taking an innocent life just because we want to get to somebody else. Please, Mr. Trump, let's not go for Venezuela that way. We have the biggest aircraft carrier in the world that's getting there. It's already there. We have 10 times the military budget than everybody else, 10 other countries combined. We're very strong. Mr. Trump, you told us that we have weapons that you wish that we never use. I know we're very strong, but being strong means you got to do it the right way, not just bomb everyone. Let our investigative units work. Let them do the work. Instead of sending the bomb and shooting everybody in a day or two, let them work for a month or two to get the people who really did the problem, and then get those people. And you know how those people, they don't like to go to our jails because they don't get that luxury they get in their countries. So just get them and bring them to jail. No killing innocent lives. We know those drug dealers, they live in neighborhoods. Not everybody there is involved with drugs. So why are we going to go for everybody? Today's episode, please tell me, is there such a thing as guilty by association? Just because that daughter of somebody who's working for Hezbollah, or because she's the daughter of an Israeli soldier who committed atrocities, that means they are both guilty? That's it? They deserve to die? And when they die, we don't even talk about it much. These are forgotten names. And yes, I do understand that if we're going to be fair, I have to mention almost 50 children from Palestine for one child from Israel, 50 casualties. But that is not what's the problem, because one human life, again, it's worth all humanity. If you do that to one human life, that means that said you're sacrificing the principle that you're respecting humanity. You're respecting that. You don't want that to happen to your mother, to your wife, to your child. So you cannot do that to anybody else for the sake of whatever cause, because you want to have freedom, because you want democracy, because you want land, holy land, whatever land. Then we're going to have to kill those innocent people so we can get there. Seriously, just the way you are getting there is so wrong. This is why I'm telling Israel, enough atrocities. If you don't give them the 1967 and now, you're just going to be going and suffering again for the same cycle, because these guys, they're not going to give up their weapons for you to not give them an independent state. And that's why I'm saying, both of you, be smart. Israel, give them the 1967 borders so that way there is no excuse. Palestinians, just give them the weapons and tell them, okay, give us our independent states and there is no excuse. You know, Palestinians, that in case there is some treason, they tell you, no, you're not going to get your state, you can rearm again. But for now, just give them your weapons. Just finish it and tell them there is no excuse. Okay, we want our state. and have a peaceful state. Just focus on medicine, focus on prosperity. Look at Austria. Austria is a neutral state. They don't even need an army because they're not threatened by anybody. All they have to worry about is their internal affairs. That's it. And how to get better with their economy. Why can't we do that also for Palestine? Israel, why can't you have some peace treaty with everybody? Get the Abraham Accords from everybody. Get Saudi Arabia to join. They're telling you, give the 1967, we will join the Abraham Accords. So why not? Have some peace with Syria. Have some peace with Lebanon. There will be no Hezbollah. Hezbollah also, if they see that there is peace, they will give their weapons to the Lebanon military. Hamas, the same thing. If they see peace, they will give their weapons to the Palestinian Authority. US, let's not be fooled. Let's not be dragged in these wars. And I understand that finally we are waking up. Finally, Mr. Trump, he told Mr. Netanyahu to apologize to Qatar. Finally, that Qatar hit. That's what actually was bringing us this 20-point peace plan. So thank you guys for joining us. I'll be with you in the next episode. Thank you.